So can you give comments on the recent incidents during in the Mizoram-Assam border, and also can you give comments on the long-pending border issue of this Mizoram and Assam border?
Thanks to the Notice Live for giving me this chance. Since the last few days, I'm sorry to say that there has been a strong apprehension on the minds of the people of Mizoram that the Notice Live is biased against us. I hope this is a good chance for the Notice Live as well to disprove this. The root cause of the whole trouble that led to the incident on the 26th July is due to the long-pending boundary dispute between these two states. Before coming to that point, let me start with the immediate cause. It all happened due to the attempts made by the Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, to appease the illegal migrants coming from Bangladesh who are settling down in the areas adjoining the state of Mizoram. During the last general election of Assam, he had made commitments for the creation of autonomous district councils for them. Therefore, it is a politically motivated operation directed by himself in order to create a stronghold among these illegal migrants. As we know, on that day, 200 armed police, commanded by the IGP and remotely controlled by the Chief Minister himself, overran the two camps of Central Forces. One is the SSB camp on the Assam side, the other is the CRPF camp on the Mizoram side. These two Central Forces had completely failed to perform their duties by allowing Assam police to enter inside the territory of Mizoram. We have completely lost confidence on them. We demand strong action as well as immediate replacement of these two forces. After overrunning these two camps, Assam police entered inside the state of Mizoram and again overrun the IR camp there, which was manned only by one section. They were physically pushed out. The camp was forcibly occupied. They were fully equipped with tear gas, grenades, LMG, and even with an ambulance. Immediately after they had taken that camp, LMG was mounted on the sandbags used as a trench, pointing towards Mizoram police. We have several supporting videos and photographs taken on the spot. In fact, the deployment of ambulance itself is a clear indication that there has been a well-pre-plan to open fire. Then they started lathi charging, hurling tear gas, grenades, and then opened fire. The barrack bulletin reported that, according to the local MLA, it was Himanta who had given an order to open fire. One very vital point to be noted here is that Assam police started firing first, while the SP of Mizoram, along with other 4 senior officers, were negotiating with the IGP of Mizoram, IGP of Assam in the CRP camp nearby. Needless to say that Mizoram police would not fire first. Well, they know very well that their seniors are in the area controlled by the Assam police at that given time, at that given point of time. Let me make an example. Suppose somebody entered your house, lathi charged you, and shoot at you. What would you do? That day, Mizoram police were pushed to the extreme where there is no any other option except to take self-defense. This was followed by ugly consequences. My deep condolences to all those bereaved families. Soon after this, the Chief Minister of Assam announced that he is going to recruit as many as 4,000 commandos to be deployed in the 3 districts adjoining the state of Mizoram. Let the nation know. Let the nation know that these commandos are not meant to fight Pakistan or China. They are meant to fight one of the 7 sister states in the northeast, their own countrymen. We are not enemies. This is not an ethnic problem. The people of Mizoram do not have any differences whatsoever with the Assamese people. Meanwhile, the big brother keeps on bullying, playing with human lives. He keeps on playing blame game using the very media owned and controlled by his wife. Even the national medias were not allowed to enter Mizoram. They were obstructed by the Assam police. This is a clear case. This indicates very clearly that the government of Assam is afraid of telling the truth to the rest of the country. Thereafter, they started blocking the highways, the lifelines to Mizoram. Even the only railway line to Mizoram has been blocked by uprooting the railway tracks at Mohampur in Hailakandi district. We know what economic blockade means. It means putting people to die of starvation. This is a crime. It amounts to an attempt to murder. Now let me come to the real point, that is the boundary dispute. The British occupied Kachar area in 1832. At that time, Mizoram was a free, sovereign, and independent state. Due to the expansion policy of the British, there have been several classes, invasions from both sides. In order to put an end to these conflicts, a mutually agreed boundary was drawn in 1875 under Section 2 of the Bengal-Eastern Frontier Regulation 1873. This is so far the only boundary demarcated on the ground having 46 pillars, and this is the only boundary accepted by us. After that, the Mizo chiefs were subdued. Then the British kept on changing the boundary, each time penetrating deeper and deeper inside the territory of Mizoram. And the last one was the inner line 1933. This boundary, excepting that of 1875, is a colonial boundary imposed upon us without our knowledge and without our consent. We never accept this boundary. Therefore, our stand is the boundary, the vernacular boundary of 1875. Well, the stand of Assam is that of the colonial boundary 1933. This needs to be resolved. We know that the United Nations Organization has made a declaration which is known as UN Declaration on the Rights of the Indigenous Peoples, 2007. If we look at Articles 26, 27, and 28 of this declaration, we found that the indigenous peoples have been given the rights to the restoration of their ancestral lands, to the restoration of their traditional lands, which have been occupied without their free, prior, and informed consent. If this boundary dispute is allowed to go on and unresolved, we may not have any other alternative. We will be compelled to go to the UNO and the International Court of Justice. And this will become an international issue. In spite of all these things, we are open for a mutual dialogue to arrive at a lasting solution. This is a high time to resolve this issue. Thank you.